Ta-da! So today I wanted to talk about dreams, yes, and to talk about dreams and totems. African totems and dreams. So I receive a lot of messages often of people who are seeking to reconnect with their own totem, or who are trying and searching different kind of ways to do that. And so I wanted to make this video to give you an opportunity of another way through which you can reconnect with your own totem by yourself. So you won't need to be initiated, you won't need to contact somebody else, you won't need to go around somewhere, you won't need to do any rituals, anything like that. You just need yourself and your bed. Go to sleep. Go to sleep. Of course, ensure that you are able to remember your dreams, because it's going to be really hard for you to remember this experience if you don't know. You can actually go and meet your totem and do all those different things, but when you wake and see, if you're not able to remember your dreams, it's going to be a little bit useless in terms of your consciousness, or in terms of you being conscious and being aware of what is your totem and what you can do with it. Of course, this is part of African spirituality. I have to repeat that I'm from the Bamileke tribe from Cameroon. I'm speaking from my Bamileke perspective from my own tradition, perspective of things that I've learned, I've studied, I've experienced, I've practiced, and things that I've been able to observe, not only in Africa, but in all over different places where I've lived in the world. And of course, about the systems and different things that I've studied along the way that enable me to strengthen my own journey and to expand my understanding of what this experience that we call life. So now that this is said, you have two resources that you can go and consult. The first one is my playlist on dreams, so that you and the first few videos are about maximizing and enabling yourself to be able to remember your dreams, and little things that you can do to help yourself in that process. You know, make sure you're eating the nutrition that you need for your body, making sure that you have enough energy, that you sleep well every other night, so that you have enough energy to do this, to actually go and dream and do all the different explorations. And then the second resource is to review my playlist on totems, on African totems, where you can have a better understanding about what I'm talking about when I'm talking about totems. This is not the Native American form of totems. There's so many different ways of looking at totems and animal spirits and all that stuff. For me, I'm really speaking about the African way, and particularly the Bamileke way of looking at totems and what totems are in our culture. And totems are not just animals, they can be plants, they can be minerals, and I have a few videos in that totem series explaining that and giving you ways where you can find out or reconnect with that totem. So, and now in this particular video is about another way that you can reconnect with your totem, which is through dreams. And I think it's the easiest, the smoothest way to reconnect with the totem, because in the realm of dreams, you have the opportunity to dismiss it if it was too intense, if it was too, I don't know, too demanding or intense for you to leave. And the good way is that the totem is never going to present itself in its true form if it knows that you will be scared. Because it's not because your totem is a crocodile, let's say, or an animal, that its true form is that of the animal. Okay, because you know that totems are energies, they are beings that are between between the invisible and the visible. They are able to materialize and be tangible, that you can touch, and they are also able to be completely within the invisible realm with no physical form. So because they are this type of beings, their true form is not what we'll deem as an animal. This is more for us to interpret and to see what kind of category of being they are. And like I said, there's I've spoken about at least 3 forms of totems: mineral, vegetable, and animals, that we as human beings categorize them that way, because when we experience them in the material form, they are like that. But when they are in their non-material form, that form can be overpowering, overwhelming, and for some of us, it may shock you, it may frighten you. However, the totem will, when it is a totem that you inherited and is your totem, the totem will never present itself in a form that it knows will frighten you. It will take different forms to put you at ease. It is not the role of the totem to make you scared, to have you being scared of it. The totem is there to be with you, to help you and to serve you as you serve them. So it's a two-way relationship. It's not the totem is not your servitor. The totem is not your slave. The totem is not your subservient or your servant. The totem works with you the same way you work with the totem, okay? So dream realm is just another way for you to connect with your totem, to have them introduce you to the history of your totem, to have them show you who your totem is, where it's coming from, who gave it to you, who in your lineage worked with it. And I think it's a great way for you to reconnect, especially if you haven't, if no one in your family knows about totem and you are suspecting that you do have one. And then they can also show you how this totem has been with you since you were born, everywhere, all the time. No matter how conscious you are, no matter how attentive you are, the totem is always somewhere. You always have indication that the totem is close by, nearby. If it's not through experiences that you may have not remember when you were a child, but it's through drawings, through different symbols that represent the totem around you. It could have been through different animals that you were given, or toys, or even coloring books. But this symbol, this representation of the totem is always with you. When you have a totem and you're born with one, it's always with you. That's why nobody can take the totem away from you. When you're born with a totem, or the totem was passed on to you by your elders and your ancestors, no one can take that away from you unless you authorize that. And there's different ways that you can authorize that through certain initiations. Depending on what you're being initiated into, you may consent for some elder, some other person to take the totem away from you, or to take certain energies away from you that were destined to you, that were your own legacy. That's why sometimes I caution people on the type of initiation that you go do, and especially when you're doing initiation in a language that you don't personally understand, that you don't understand what's going on, you don't understand what you are agreeing to. No matter how many times somebody else will translate that, it's so much better to do initiation in the language that you do understand, or to take the time to learn the language that you're going to be initiated in. That's just a recommendation that I make for those of you who are interested into initiations. Now, that legacy that you have is yours. You can have been abandoned, end up being adopted by people from a different culture, from a different country, and living away, not knowing who your parents are, where you come from, or what have you, or be a descendant of people, or being diaspora, or maybe you don't have any idea where you come from, or whatever. It doesn't matter. The totem and the legacy of the totem, it's an accord between the bloodline. If it is your elder or your ancestors that gave you this totem, you have it through your bloodline. So it doesn't need for you to be part of a specific, to have a specific passport, to know a specific language. Matter of fact, when you're going to go in the dream realm, and I'll do a separate video about that, the totem may speak to you in whatever language that they know. And totem are also a lot more ancient than some of the current African languages. You can have totem that have been there around for centuries, been long before human beings even started recognizing that they were there. So don't be worried about you're not going to be able to understand, you don't speak the language of this or that country, or that those people and stuff like that. The totem will speak to you even if you don't understand the language. In the dream you'll be able to understand, because the purpose is on the vibration that you're on and the frequency. So when it's going to be speaking to you, you will understand whatever information that you need to understand at that time. There may be things that you're not going to understand, and words that you may go and check later on, and things of that nature, but you will get the idea. You will get what is being asked of you, and whether you want to agree to or not. You will get also what are the gist of it. So it's just an exploration that you are able to do, or if you are able to remember your dreams and be conscious while you're dreaming, or to be lucid while you're dreaming, and all the different things, so that you can actually interact and ask questions and learn while you're dreaming. And so I thought it was an interesting question that I've received, and I think it was just a good way to, and a simple way to inquire on that. What I also want to mention is that your intention in terms of discovering the totem is important. I think is really important. I haven't discussed this yet in the totem series, which I will probably do at some point, is because sometimes when you are given a totem from your great-grandfather, let's say, or somebody that was in your family that was working with the totem and that left it for you, sometimes they may have built into that agreement that this totem cannot be used to do harm to other people. No matter what justification you want to make it, no matter what the situation is, this is not something that you evaluate yourself and you decide to do. Sometimes this is intrinsically built in the relationship. So if you go in there with the intention of using this totem to have him as your servant or something like that, or to use the totem to hurt somebody, or to hurt somebody because someone else asked you to, or something like that, take that away from your mind right away, because that could backfire on you big time. And I'm not light when I'm warning you with this, because this is not about creating any fear. This is just about explaining to you something really tangible that can happen if this is the type of mentality. I've seen it so many times. People who discover they have a totem, a specific totem, they barely understanding how it functions and what it needs, and then yet they're trying to use it to harm other people, and it doesn't end up very well. So I will not recommend you to use that avenue for whatever negative or for whatever purpose that you have, which includes harming someone else, no matter what the reason, the justification is. Because sometimes people say, you can be justified and all of that, not based on what type of mechanism. If it's one of those absolute mechanisms that this totem is not going to be doing that, just for you to ask that or to think of that is going to be triggering that mechanism. And it's important for you to take that in consideration. You can still do whatever you want, but at least take it in consideration before you do it. Other things with the totem in terms of the dreams, once you reconnect with it, you can learn how to use your totem in your dreams. The totem will initiate you into that, will show you different things, ask you to do certain things. Also, take in consideration, you decide, always you decide what you want to do. Make sure you understand what the exchange is about and what is required of you. If you don't understand, better say no. If you don't understand, better say no. This is not ignorance of the law doesn't cheat anything. Ignorance of what is being asked of you, and if you say yes, it's not going to prevent anything from happening. So if you don't understand, ask for clarification, ask to think about it, come back. I tell them you're going to come back. Whatever you need to do, ask it, reflect it, go see a psychic, I don't know. But if you don't understand, do not say yes. Do not agree to something you don't understand. Okay? It's that simple. And so I wanted to share this little way of doing that, because I didn't want to I wanted to present a form where you can actually reconnect with your totem in a safe kind of way, because a lot of people have been writing to me and asking me about that. Okay, I hope it was useful, and of course leave your comments below, and if you have the questions, let me know. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.